Today I'm making Shrinky Dink earrings. You will need shrinkable plastic. I'm using the Shrinky Dink brand. It's the frosted rough and ready kind. You need scissors, an X-Acto knife, a hole punch, color pencils, a permanent marker, a template if you want one, wax paper, and a cookie sheet. First, I take my paper, the rough side up, not the shiny side, and I lay it on top of my template. First, I'm going to trace the lines onto the Shrinky Dink plastic where it is on the template. Once you finish tracing your design, you can go ahead and go in and add color where it's colored pencil. I've never tried it with paint or pastels or anything, but I've heard that whatever you can use on paper, you can use on Shrinky Dinks. Today I'm going to just use 2 different shades of blue for mine. You can use any color you want. This part right here is going to end up being cut out, so you can just ignore that. And your edges around here don't have to be perfect because you can cut that out. I'm going to start, you can color it however you want. I'll color mine and you can see how it looks at the end. Now I should probably wait a little bit to color this, or use a different type of marker than these little ones, because the black is smearing a little bit, but for demonstration's sake I'll just continue. has it colored. This is the shiny side. I know it doesn't look perfect, but when it gets tiny it'll look a little better. I'm going to go back over and make the black a little darker, but you don't have to do that. It's just something that I like doing. It's just something I like doing. Now I'm going to cut it out. First, I'm going to cut out the middle. It doesn't matter what order you go in as far as cutting it out, but I prefer to do the middle first. Lay down a piece of foam underneath the Shrinky Dink in order to protect the table a little bit from the X-Acto knife. And now I take the X-Acto knife and I'm just going to run it along the circle. When you're tearing it off, be careful not to rip the Shrinky Dink. It's okay if it tears a little because when it melts it'll go back together, but you don't want to tear it completely apart. Sometimes you have to go back in and score it. Some more. Now I'm used to using an art like a scratchboard X-Acto knife, but I lost mine, so we're using what we have. Now, obviously, my cutting isn't perfect, nor are my lines, and there's a little teeny tear right here, but that'll go back together. I'm going to go back over and kind of go around the outside of the circle a little bit to make it look more even than it actually is. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut all around the earring. Just like you're cutting a piece of paper. After you've cut it out, you take your hole punch and you're going to punch a hole in the top of the earring. Be careful not to punch it too far on either side or you won't have a hole anymore, you'll just have a gap. Like this. Now you do the same thing with another one. If you want earrings, if you just want a pendant, you can just do one. And they're going to shrink to about 1/3 their size. I forgot to mention that before. This is about 3 inches in diameter, so it's going to be about an inch and a half after it shrinks, and it also thickens. So I'm going to do this again to have a second earring, and then I'll show you how to cook it. Now I take my 2 earring pieces and I put them on a cookie sheet with wax paper on it. Preheat your oven for 350. And once that's preheated, you can stick your earring pieces in there and wait approximately 3 to 5 minutes. It depends on the size of your earring or whatever piece that you're working with. If you have a glass stove, you can watch it curl up. It'll curl up and sometimes it touches and then goes back flat. Don't freak out if it looks ridiculous while it's cooking. It'll flatten out when it comes out. Alright, now I'm going to put my earring pieces in the oven and show you what happens when they're done. Okay, the earrings are probably done now, so I'm going to pull them out. When you take them out, sometimes they're still a little curled, so you have to press them down with something to flatten them a little bit. Don't burn yourself, please, so use a spatula or something. Now we're going to let the earring pieces cool for a little bit because we don't want to burn ourselves when we're trying to put the metal pieces on. So I'm going to take it off of the metal so it cools faster. Be careful because it is extremely hot. And I'm just going to set it on the counter for a while. Alright, now they're cooled down enough where we can work with them. So I'm going to get pliers and metal earring hooks to attach. Okay, so I have metal earring hooks, pliers, and my earrings. However, I should probably be using thinner pliers, but these are the only ones I can find. So I'm going to pull the earring hook, sorry it's kind of blurry, this piece right here apart. So it's like a little hook instead of a loop. And I'm going to string my earring through the hook and then pinch the metal closed over the earring. And then you get something like this. I'll do the other one also. So take your hook, grab the side, pry it open, take your earring and string it. Make sure this shiny side is going to be facing outwards, not towards your ear. And then pinch the metal, if I can do it, pinch the metal over the earring. It's kind of hard to see the detail with the camera. It'd probably be even easier if you color with color pencil lighter, but I prefer darker earrings. Those are your Shrinky Dink earrings. Thanks for watching.